our vodka. So before bourbon was ready, we relied heavily on vodka to keep our lights on. And if vodka's gonna keep your lights on, it better be a good vodka. Our vodka is distilled out of something very abundant, very invasive in the state of Florida, and that's gonna be sugarcane. We distill our vodka out of sugarcane. We bottle that at 80 proof. It's very smooth, clean, and subtle. And the best part is that we're using Florida agriculture to make this spirit. So the barrel is the most important thing when making a bourbon. 100% of the color is going to come from the barrel, with up to 70% of the flavor coming from the barrel. We get our barrels from the last family-owned cooperage in Kentucky, which is the Kelvin Cooperage. And we use a number 3 char when we char the inside of our barrels, because every barrel of bourbon must be charred to be called bourbon. Molasses ferments for about 4 days, and then it becomes our rum. 90 proof, barrel aged for about 6 to 8 months. Or, if you really like rum, we also have an incredible reserve rum. It's between 3 and 5 years old, finished in a Vino de Naraha cask, and a cognac barrel that was used to make a Madagascar vanilla. So a lot of great flavors happening with this rum. Unfortunately, only 600 lucky people will get a bottle, because it's very limited. So you better get it before it runs out. That's an award we won on preserving our building. So that's a preservation award because we kept the building to what it was. We could have, what most people do now is they knock trees down and build up. But we wanted to find the building and revitalize it and bring back its natural beauty and make it into a distillery here in Florida. And that's what we did with the ice plant. This distillery here is the Dave Pickerel Award. He is the former master distiller at Maker's Mark, and they helped us get us on our feet. So we were awarded the Dave Pickerel Memorial Craft Member of the Year in 2020. And then our most prized possession, out of all those craft distilleries in North America, we're number 1. We were named the American Distilling Institute Distillery of the Year. So if you've never been to the St Augustine Distillery, you want to come to the best of the best, then come to the Distillery of the Year. And this building wasn't always as beautiful as it is now. So when we came in to renovate this building, the windows were all busted out. A fun fact about those windows, they're shipped in from an industrial building from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They are not original to the building. So we came in, revitalized this building to what it is. This building used to be huge. Again, we didn't want to knock down trees and build up. We found natural beauty in the former ice plant. We share the building with the Ice Plant restaurant, which is completely different, but if you ever need a good craft cocktail or a great dinner, come take a tour at the distillery and then have a great dinner at the Ice Plant restaurant. This crane you see was actually used to haul the ice around. We didn't take it out because it didn't ruin anything. It won't move because of the stills, but that is the original crane used to haul ice when this was the ice plant. So just like every tour in Florida, naturally we're going to end up in the gift shop. But almost 100 years ago, this gift shop was not a gift shop. It was the locker rooms and it was the office spaces of the employees of the ice plant. And if you worked at an ice plant during that time and there happened to be a draft, you weren't going to that draft. You were the original essential employee. If you needed to make ice, you were staying here to make ice and not going to war. We like to not only serve world-class spirits, but we also like to give a world-class experience. One of those experiences is broadening people's knowledge on bourbon, America's spirit. Less than 1% of the consumer actually knows about the drink they're drinking, and we want to make that a little better and teach them about America's spirit. So we have a few guided experiences. We have the Spirit of Florida Bourbon Experience, which is about an hour long, where you sip 4 premium bourbons and dive deep into the history of America's spirit. And we also have what is called the Perfect Pair. It's about 35 to 40 minutes long, where you get to taste 3 premium bourbons and 3 delicious truffles that are made by Creme de Coco, which is a local bakery here in St. Augustine. Again, we like to work with our local partners, our local neighbors. One of my favorite bourbons here, we call this a double local bourbon. If you're familiar with the delicious San Sebastian winery right down the block, we send them our used whiskey barrels. They make their delicious port wine, and when they're done using them, we get those barrels back and more bourbon goes in there. It is a double local bourbon, the only port finished bourbon to exist where it goes distillery, winery, distillery, never leaving the nation's oldest city. It's called It Takes a Thief, because this is a whiskey thief, kind of like a big copper straw. So the guests will be able to thief bourbon out of the barrel and see if they like it. They're going to pour it directly into this Glencairn glass and then they'll get to try it. So in Kentucky, there's what they call Moonshine University. You go in there and you can become a certified bourbon steward or an executive bourbon steward. Here at the St. Augustine Distillery, generally every last Sunday of the month, you yourself can come in and become a certified bourbon steward. We get this special pin. If you like us a lot, you can come back. I believe the next one is in January, is an executive bourbon steward course. That's an 8-hour course. You dive really, really deep. There's a test at the end, but we'll ensure you pass that test. And you're actually distilling and fermenting that day as well. It's really hands-on. So if you ever wanted a guided experience or more in-depth on what we do here at the St. Augustine Distillery, just go to www.staugustinedistillery.com.
My favorite part about working here is honestly probably my coworkers. We all get along really nice and it's a lot of fun.
My favorite thing about working here is just learning all the stuff. They're very good about educating us, and that's something I'm more passionate about, is learning on the educational and the history side. So it's like I'm always learning something new, like every single week that I work here. And fun fact, that my favorite one is that we were the first legal bourbon distillery in Florida since after Prohibition. I think that's pretty cool.
It's just fun to work with, you know, tourists and coworkers here.
Very cool.
My favorite part about working here is all the cool people I get to work with and all the cool spirits I get to try.
And your favorite fun fact?
Favorite fun fact? Bourbon can be made anywhere in America, not just in Kentucky. We're making it here.
All right, your favorite part about working here?
Oh, our spirits, bourbon. I love it. But very much in everything that we do here and what we do as a team is divine.
And then your favorite fun fact?
That the cocktail fact gets me. So the good old garnish that you throw onto your cocktail, it is the classic orange peel. So the way that it hangs off the rim, it looks like a rooster's tail, hence the name where the cocktail came from.
Yeah, so one of my favorite fun facts about us at the distillery is our sustainability efforts. My favorite sustainability fact is that we actually take our mash bills that we get from our local farms. Once we use them for all of our spirits and all of our products, we take that used grain and we send it back to those farms so they can use it for their produce, they can use it for fertilizer, and they can use it for those animals on their farms.
Well, welcome. My name is Cindy, and I'm going to give you the first of your 4 tastings today for the Free Self-Guided Tour. It is going to be our Florida Mule. Our Florida Mule is made with our vodka, which our vodka is 80 proof. So it is made with 100% Florida-grown sugarcane. If you've never had a sugarcane vodka, I always encourage our guests, once you get to the last tasting, ask them to taste this neat. They're not going to give you a big tasting, just a little one, but see what you think, because a sugarcane vodka is totally different than a potato vodka. So be sure to ask them to taste this, and they don't mind at all. Then we mix it with our Florida Mule mixer. Our Florida Mule mixer is an all-natural mixer, just like all of our mixers. It is made with fresh ginger root, fresh lime juice, sugarcane juice, and a dash of cayenne pepper, and no ginger beer needed at all. So let's get some tastings going. Yes, ma'am. So I'm gonna just set them up here, and then you guys just come up and grab as you go, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. All right, guys. You guys are looking really thirsty, so.
We just left the winery. We can't be.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Come on up, guys. Perfect. You're welcome. Yeah. So good. You'll taste that ginger, then that lime juice, and then that kick of cayenne pepper.